Welcome to Drawing a Mosaic Design Online. This is a tutorial using Sketch and Paint, which is an online drawing tool. This tool was created by Thomas Erickson and is available at www.onemotion.com. The main things that you will learn from this tutorial include the following. First, you will plan your mosaic design using a drawing tool, such as Sketch and Paint. You will also experiment with colors for your mosaic. You can also set up grout lines, plan for tile spacing, and you will save your mosaic design plan for future use. When you go to www.onemotion.com, you will be taken to the Sketch and Paint canvas, which is a blank canvas. The default size is 1024 by 768, but you can also change the dimension to your discretion. You are not required to log into this site to use the Sketch and Paint design tool. You will also notice there are two different menus. The right menu, which is highlighted in red, has the following icons. Number 1, the file icon is used to create a new file or canvas, open a file, save a file, or print a file. Number 2, the left and right arrows are used to undo and redo any action. Number 3, the paintbrush is used to paint or draw a color. Number 4, the modify icon is used to change the location of the stroke. For example, if you drew a straight line and you wanted to move that line to a different location, you can use the modify icon to do that. Number 5, the eraser icon is used to remove or erase a section. Number 6, the eyedropper icon. This is used to go back to a color on the page without having to reselect the color. So for example, if you drew a line in green on one location on your canvas, and then you drew, let's say, another line in red on your canvas in a different location, but you wanted to use green again. Instead of having to reselect the color from the color menu, you can simply click on the green line using the eyedropper icon, and your cursor or your paintbrush will automatically go back to green. Number 7 is the magnifying glass. This icon is used to zoom in and out. Number 8, the hand is used to drag or to reposition the canvas. And number 9, the mask off icon is unspecified. The bottom menu is highlighted in green. The bottom menu houses the colors and options toolbars. Number 1, the colors toolbar is used to help select colors and opacity. Opacity refers to how non-transparent a color is. For example, a color is considered to be more opaque if it is not see-through. Number 2, the options toolbar. This toolbar is used to select line style, fade, size, pressure, and other line features. As you see under number 2, we selected a squiggly line. That is part of the different line options. Okay, so let's get started. So we want to create a mosaic. So let's start by drawing a shape. Let's try a heart. A heart is a simple shape to use. We will start by selecting the paintbrush icon. We'll use this icon to draw our heart. Next, we will select a color, and we selected red for the heart, as you see on the screen. And using the options toolbar, we selected the squiggly line with a high pressure gauge. Essentially, higher pressure means that the color is darker. These options were selected to create the heart that you see on the screen. This heart will be the outline of our mosaic design. Next, we will fill in our design. Here are a few tips. First, we will start at the edges to form the shape. As you see on the screen, we are filling in the edges closely along the border of our initial drawing. We want to fill in the outside first with smaller pieces, and these pieces represent pieces of tile or other items. We want to fill in the outside to maintain the integrity of the shape. We can fill in the middle at the end. It is important to follow your outline. While your actual design, when you're cutting your tiles, may not be exact, it gives you an idea and a guide so that you can maintain the integrity of your shape. If you do not follow the outline, your design may not look like the intended shape, or it may not look like a heart in this case. So one of the biggest perks with using an online tool to create a mosaic design is that you can visualize the colors of your design in advance. Consider using colors to tell a story and not just put many different colors onto your design. In this case, we used red, orange, yellow, turquoise, and a pink or magenta. These colors were selected because they are next to each other on the color wheel, which is also known as analogous colors. These colors look good together. And also, red and teal are opposite of each other on the color wheel, which creates a high contrast look. Contrast refers to colors that create the highest amount of visual beauty. So for example, colors that are also high contrast would be black and white. If you want to learn more about selecting colors, take the color wheel tutorial. And of course, you can try out any color you would like. But if you do not like it, you can simply just erase it. At this point, you did not buy the tiles yet, so there is no problem. You can also use the arrows to undo or redo any action. Next, we will leave a space for a border, and this is really important to maintain the integrity of the original shape. In this case, the shape is a heart. Pieces should never touch each other. So we create the border to basically serve as a grout line. So these two pieces are placed appropriately to allow space to go between the original shape and the two tiles in the form of grout. The next piece that you see on the screen shows an added piece that was touching the existing piece from the border of the heart. This is a problem because this additional piece changes the outline of the heart shape. We do not want to do this. And again, we could use the tool to create this border space using the paint icon. Okay, so now we experimented a little bit with colors, and colors specifically pertaining to tiles. Now let's talk about grout color. Mosaic designs are comprised of colors used for tiles and other materials, but also the color of the grout. It is important to pick a grout color that will look good with your design. So in this case, we filled in the right side of the heart with black, which would represent using a black grout. If I'm not sure, or I just want to see what other options there are, I could also use a different color. So for example, we put in, let's say, gray. Again, using the paint icon for the online design tool. I can visualize how my total design would look. If I do not like it again, I can simply erase it. Now let's talk about the border. And this is the border of the canvas. We call it a canvas because we're talking about using the online tool. But the canvas can be anything such as a concrete block, backer board, or other medium to adhere or basically glue your tiles onto. Now we already separated our heart and filled in the heart. Now let's fill in the border. So we will start with filling in the edges first, sort of in the same fashion as we did with the heart. We will try to fill in the larger pieces first, and we can go back and always fill in the smaller pieces. So as you see on the screen, we are filling in the larger pieces along one side of the border. And we would continue this throughout for the rest of the design until we complete the canvas. And we can simply do this using the design tool online by using the paint icon. And we can also continue to experiment with colors as it pertains to the border. But also, you can try out special shapes using the online design tool. So I wondered what a leaf would look like with my heart. And so I drew one using the paint icon. And I selected green and placed it in a position that I thought would look good. Many tiles and other materials are not always blank and not always square. Some of these items that would be used to create a mosaic pattern or design can come in different shapes, textures, sizes, and maybe as an artist, you may want to try different things. So using the tool will allow you to visualize how all of that would look. The sky is the limit. So let's talk about tile spacing. This is really important, and this online tool allows us to see potential mistakes that we can create with how we place our tiles. So on the right, we noticed that we place these tiles, but we have really large spaces between the tiles. This can be a problem. And the reason for this being a problem is because it may be hard for a viewer to understand what that area was supposed to look like. Whereas on the left, we're using smaller tile spacing. Basically, there would be less grout that would have to go between the tiles. Most seasoned mosaic artists use many smaller pieces versus larger pieces and pieces that are not spread out so far. Pieces that are spread out further, as seen on the right, require more grout, and also the picture may not be clear. On the right, on the left, we use less grout, and the picture is more clear. Okay, so let's talk about how you can save your design. So first of all, you can click on the file icon, which is part of the right menu, which was originally highlighted in red at the beginning of this tutorial. When you click on the file icon, you will be presented with options to create a new file, to open an existing file, to save a file, or to print a file. It is recommended that you save your design or save your file for future use. That way, if you needed it again, you would have it. Some people may also elect to only print the file. Either way, you may want to consider saving and printing your file. So, why should you save the file? Well, first of all, the file can help you with your shopping for your materials, because you will know what colors you need, what color tiles, what color grout, how many pieces possibly you may need to cut out. It can help you visualize the size you would like to create. So there are a lot of perks for keeping a file on hand, or at least a printout. And also, if you had an idea and you didn't want to forget your idea, you would have that idea recorded. And it is also easier to communicate your ideas to someone else, especially if you're trying to buy materials and you're telling someone at, let's say, the lumber store what you're looking for, and they're trying to understand what you're trying to create. So this file can help you to create a conversation and provide visual proof of what you're creating, and also to help you shop more efficiently. So now you are ready to go. So congratulations on completing the tutorial. Now you are ready to plan your mosaic design using a drawing tool such as Sketch and Paint. There are many others. Sketch and Paint is only one option. Also, you are ready to experiment with colors. You're able to visualize colors in advance, which can save time and money buying supplies. Also, you learned how to plan ahead for your grout lines and for your tile spacing to ensure that your design looks the way that you want it to look when it's complete. And you also learned to save your mosaic design for future use and to also communicate your ideas to others. Well, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, you can always rewind this tutorial, but we will see you next time.